SHALAM, which means to Israel. So Majum, which means to stand. Wapanya Hakidam, which means to turn and face the east. This is the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kudash, I.S.U.P.K, Yahweh, Malakaka, Taba'ah, Ratazayaka, I.S.U.P.K, Ba'arataza, Kawur, I.S.U.P.K, Bashamayim, Nathan, Lanawu, Lakam, Ko, Yawam, Wasalakanawu, Kawawaknawu, Kasalaknawu, Kawabwathinawu, Wala'a, Tabayayanawu, Banasaya one, Abol, Hawashayanawu, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, with the part, La'alalamyam, Aman. This is the Lord's Prayer in English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Prayer for the Hakak, or the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Bobakashah, Nathanahu, Hakak, La Rapa'ah, Ka Makala, Buka Marawa, Hakak, La Tahor, Hamatazarayim, Hakak, La Hakim, Hamakim, Hakak, Arakawat, Natama Allah, the Garshan, Ba'ashem Yahushai, the Waraman. Prayer for the power in the English. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, please give us the power. The power to heal all manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out in the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it. Prayer for the blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatha Yahweh. Wa Yahushua. Wam Yaka'alu. Wa Alahayim. Matazabya. Alawap Yahanna. Ha Alawapyam. Hazaranyam. Ha Quatazayanyam. Ha Kayayam. Wa Quathiam. Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahushua. The Waraman. The blessings in the English. Bless you, Yahweh. And Yahushua. And Michael. And the angels. Commanding General Yahanna. The generals. The captains. The officers. The troopers. And the sisters. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'at. Ayunya. Al-Hahari. Ma'ayan. Yaba'at. Isaiah. Ma'aim. Yahweh. Aisha. Shamayam. Wa'aratazah. Al-Yathan. Lamawat. Regoka. Al-Yanawam. Shamarka. Hana. La'ah. Yanawam. Wala'ah. Yashun. Shamar. Yasha'ala. Yahweh. Shamarka. Yahweh. Tazalka. Al. Yad. Yamyaka. Yawamum. Hashamash. La'ah. Yakaka. Where you rock. Ba Ya'ala. Yahweh. Yashamarka. Makol. Rai. Yashamar. At the Pashka. Yahweh. Yashamar. Taza'aka. Wawa'aka. Ma'aita. Wa'ai. Awulam. Psalms 121 in the English. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from Yahweh. Which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day. Nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Preserve our soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out. And thy coming in. From this time forth. And even forevermore. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim. All Damayah. Lakah. All Thakarash. Wa'al. Tashakwat. All. Kaya. Hana. Awayabyaka. Yahama. Yawan. Ra'ash. Al-Imaka. Ya'ariyamwa. Sawada. Wayatha. Ya'itazawa. Al-Tazapawanyaka. Amarwa. Lakawa. Wanakidam. Magoya. Wala'ah. Yazakar. Sham. Yasha'ala. Iwada. Kaya. Noah Aitazawa. Labak. Yakadwa. Al-Yaka. Barya. Yakarahwa. Aholia. Arawam. Weshemai. Alayum. Mala'aba. Bulgaria. Gabal. Wa'amawan. Wa'amalat. Palashad. Aim. Yeshabia. Tazawar. Gam. Ashawar. Nalawat. Imam. Hayawat. Zarawat. Labanya. Lawat. Selah. Aisha. Laham. Hamadian. Kasa Yasarat. Kayabian. Banaka'al. Kayashawan. Nashamadwa. Ba'ayan Da'ara. Hayawat. Daman. La'adama. Shayathamwa. Nara. Yabmawa. Ira. Wakaza'aba. Wakazabak. Wakatazal. Nanai. Call. Nasa Yakamwa. Sorry. Ashar, Marwa, Nayurashah, Lanawa, Nawat, Alahayam, Alahayat, Shaitamwa, Kagogula, Kakwash, Lapanya, Rawaka, Ka'ash, Taba'ira, Ya'ira, Wakalahaba, Dalahat, Haryam, Khan, Dardakma, Wasa'irika, Wabasa, Wapatka, Tabahalam, Mala'ah, Panyaham, Palawan, Wabakashwa, Shumka, Yahawah, Yabashwa, Wayabawa, Idea, I, Wayakaparwa, Wayabadwa, Wayadaiwa, Kaya, Atha, Shumka, Yahawah, Labadka, Al Yawan, Al, Call, Ha'aratazah. Psalms 83 in the English. Keep not thou silence, O my power.
Keep not thy silence, O my power.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still, O my power.
And be not still, O my power.
For lo, thine enemies make a tumult.
Thy enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee have lifted up their head.
And they that hate thee have lifted up their heads.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
They have taken crafty counsel against our people.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
They have said, Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation.
And let us cut them off from being a nation.
That the name of Israel,
may
be no more in remembrance.
And be no more in remembrance.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
And they have consulted together in one consent.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom.
The tabernacles of Edom.
And the Ishmaelites.
And the Ishmaelites.
Of Moab.
Of Moab.
And the Hagarenes.
And the Hagarenes.
The Baal. And Ammon. And Amalek. The Philistines. With the inhabitants of Tyre.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
Assur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Selah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like a red, and like Zeeb. Yea, all their princes, as Zeba, and as Zalmunna, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession. O my power, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth a wood, and as the flame set the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest. And make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame. That they may seek thy name. O Yahweh. Let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea. Let them be put to shame. And perish. That men may know. That thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high. Over all the earth. Prayer for the curses in the English. Blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth. And all things living. Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh Shai. Listen to us now. Right now. Send evils and curses. and punishment and destruction
and punishment and destruction
to the heathen
to the heathens
that speak against us thy prophets,
that speak against us thy prophet,
the teachers,
the teachers,
the princes,
the princes,
the priests,
the priests,
the Israelite
the
brothers,
Israelite brothers,
and the school,
and the schools,
and evils and
the
curses,
evils and curses,
and punishment and destruction
and punishment and destruction
to the heathen,
to the heathens,
and shake loose the treasure of the rich of Israel,
and say, loose the treasure of the rich of Israel,
that refuse to give to the school.
that refuse to give to the school,
Force their riches to enter into thy sanctuary.
force their riches and to enter into our sanctuary,
Send evils and curses,
the evils and curses,
and punishment and destruction
and punishment and destruction
to the Edomites,
to the Edomites,
and the
and
nations,
the nations,
and their drug
and their
dealers,
drug dealers,
the court
the
system,
court system,
the prison
the
system,
prison system,
Planned Parenthood,
Planned Parenthood,
all the governments of our enemies,
all the governments is our enemies,
Amalek synagogues and armies,
Israelite synagogues and armies,
Roman Catholic Church,
Roman Catholic Church,
the Pope,
the Pope,
Islam,
Islam,
Christianity,
Christianity,
Egyptology,
Egyptology,
militia,
militia,
Ku Klux Klan,
Ku Klux Klan,
Aryan Nation,
Aryan Nation,
skinheads,
Spirit,
Posse Comitazi,
Pasco,
the gay movement,
Gay movement,
the lesbian
the
movement,
Lesbian movement,
spies,
spies,
workers of witchcraft,
workers of witchcraft,
NASA space program,
space program,
Army,
Army,
Navy,
Navy,
Air Force,
Air Force,
Marines,
Marines,
Wall Street,
Wall Street,
open up the internet
open up the internet,
and the
in the
airwaves,
airway,
the cable access channels,
cable access channel,
and the radio
and the
channels.
radio channel.
Convict the spirit of any of thy people
Convict the spirit of any our people
that seek to stop us,
that seek to stop us,
and bring swift destruction to all the heathen
and bring swift destruction to all the heathens
that stand in the way
that stand in the way,
or try to stop us from broadcasting your words
or try to stop us from broadcasting your words
throughout the planet Earth.
throughout the planet Earth.
Let loose all the plagues.
That lose all the plagues,
Cause them to go to and fro
cause them to go to and fro
through the earth
through the earth,
and consume them.
and consume them.
Let the plague shake the house of the thief and the murderer.
Let the plague shake the house of the thief and the murderers.
Let Yahushua,
Let Yahweh,
Michael and Gabriel
Michael and Gabriel
come down with the flying saucers
come down with the flying saucers
and punish all the heathens
and punish all the heathens
that come up against us
that come up against us
as we speak thy word.
as we speak thy words.
Cause it to be known by all
Cause it to be known by all
that it is the angels that have done it.
that it is the angel that had done it.
Cause it to be spread through the media
Cause it to be spread through the media
throughout the whole world.
throughout the whole world.
Cause them to shake at thy coming.
Cause them to shake at thy coming.
In the name of Yahushua.
And in the name of Yahweh,
Thank you.
thank you.
Always.
Always.
So be it.
So be it.
Sar, which means a turn. Shavi, which means to be seated. It's like talking about. Can you grab me some tissue, book?
Oh, no.
Or what? We're going to be starting the book of Judges, chapter 8 and verse 21, the Blue Letter Bible. So we're starting in the book of Judges, chapter 8 and verse 21. I'll give you a second to get there. All right. Judges 8 and 21. We'amar, Zabak, Wa Tazalmanai. Pawam. Atha. Wapagai. Banawa. Kaya. Kaayash. Gaba Ward Tawa. Wayaquam. Kadayawan. Wa Yaharva. Zabak. Wa Tazalmanai. Wayaquak. Hasharanyam. Ashar. Ba Tazawa Arya. Lamalyaham. Verse 22. Ya Amarwa. Ayash. Yasha'ala. All. Badayawan. Mashal. Banawa. Gam. Atha. Gam. Banak. Gam. Ban. Banak. Kaya. Ha. Washa'aith Nawa. Mayad. Madayan. Verse 23. Wayamar. Gadayawan. La'a. Amashal. Anya. Become. Wala'a. Yamashal. Vanya. Become. Yahweh. Yamashal. Become. Verse 24. Wayamar. Alaham. Gadayawan. Ashalah. Makam. Shalah. Watanwa. Laya. Ayash. Nazam. Shalalwa. Kaya. Nazamya. Zahab. Laham. Kaya. Yasha Ma'ayalyum. Ham, verse 25. Marwa, not the one, Nathan, wa Yaparshawa, Hashamallah, wa Yashol Yakawu, Shema, Ayash, Nazum, Shalawa, verse 26. Wa Yahaya, Mashakwal, Nazamia, Hazaab, Ashar, Sha'al, Alak, Washabai, Ma'awath, Zahab, Labad, Man, Hashaharnium, Wa Hanatapwa, Wa Wagadia, Ha'ar, Sha'al, Malakia, Marian, Walabad, Man, Hainakwa, Ashar, but Tazawa Arya, Gamalyaham, verse 27. Wayasha, Awath, what? Like it. Gadayawan, La Apawad, Wayatazad, Awathwa, Ba'ayarwa. It's like, you see how this does work? Let me show the one. Ba'aypara, Wayazanwa, Ko, Yasha'ala, oh, Thor. Karyawa, Sham, ويحيى like a diamond. واللام يطاول لما walk wash. All right, clap it up. All right. We're gonna get it in English. Did you open that? Did you open the door for him or unlock it for him? Okay. That's all that's needed. This is the book of Judges, chapter 8, and verse 21 in the English. Then Zabad and Zalmunna said, Rise thou and fall upon us, for as the man is, so is his strength. And Gideon arose and slew Zabad and Zalmunna, and took away the ornaments that were on their camels' necks. Verse 22. Then the men of Israel said unto Gideon, Rule thou over us, both thou and thy son's son also, for thou hast delivered us from the hand of Midian. Verse 23. And Gideon said unto them, I will not rule over you, neither shall my son rule over you. The Lord shall rule over you. And that's so heavy that Gideon, let the children of Israel know that the Lord is to be the one that rules over us. You understand? The Lord is to be the one that we call upon when we need something. You understand? If we need any guidance, we're supposed to go get in these scriptures. You understand? Pray to the Lord. Like, we aren't supposed to depend on any man to deliver us out of the situations it is that we're in. You understand? Like, that's why it's so ridiculous when we turn to the heathen and go out and vote. You understand? Or we try to like appeal to that sense of humanity within the nations whenever there's something, some injustice being done to us. And we think that by doing so that the other nations will save us, when in reality we got to turn to the Lord when we save the nation. If we want to be able to stop being oppressed as we have been for these past 400 years, if we want for our children not to be oppressed, if we want for this hell that we've been living in to end, then we have to turn to the Lord and we have to do as He says. Like, we can't turn to no politician or no religious leader and think that they can deliver us. Like, we have to turn to the Lord. You understand? And the Lord, and it's like in the men, it is that the Lord has given power to. Verse 24, and Gideon said unto them, I would desire a request of you, that you give me every man the earrings of his prey. For they had golden earrings, because they were Ishmaelites. Verse 25, and they answered, we will willingly give them. And they spread a garment, and did cast therein every man the earrings of his prey. Verse 26, and the weight of the golden earrings that he requested was 1,700 shekels of gold, beside ornaments and collars and purple raiment that was on the kings of Midian, and beside the chains that were about their camels' necks. Verse 27, and Gideon made an ephod thereof, and put it in his city, even in Ophrah. And all Israel went thither, a whoring after it, which thing became a snare unto Gideon and to his house. Verse 28. Thus was Midian subdued before the children of Israel, so that they lifted up their heads no more. And the country was in quietness 40 years in the days of Gideon. And that's exactly what's going to happen when Christ returns. You understand? Is these nations, they're no longer going to have the strength to come against the children of Israel. Like, they're not going to have their police forces to oppress us any longer. You understand? They're no longer going to be able to, put forth their different philosophies and doctrines to destroy, like the children of Israel. Like, all of that is going to be gone, because blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians will have supreme rulership over this earth. You understand? Because we will have our God behind us. And because the time of us being rebellious and the time of us going after the gods of other nations, it's going to be no more. Like, we're going to serve our God. And through doing so, we're going to rule the earth forever. It's like it. Hey, Tazba, could you make sure, if Officer Isaiah's not coming back in, can you make sure that door's locked? Just ask him, and just let him know the door will be locked. He's going to chill. The water. Verse 29. And Jerubbaal, the son of Joash, went and dwelt in his own house. Verse 30. And Gideon had 70 sons of his body begotten, for he had many wives. Of course, that's something sisters just hate to hear, when a man has many wives. Yes, and Christians too, because of course the brothers in that church are, part of that rainbow community. And they just hate to see a man with a woman, let alone many women, and not just many women, but women it is that a man isn't going to make a whore out of. You understand? Like, he ain't just going to put her away. He's going to keep her until the end of their days, have as many babies as possible, you understand, with that sister, and teach his sons and daughters how it is a marriage should operate. Okay, the water. Verse 31, and his concubine that was in Shechem, she also bare him a son, whose name he called Abimelech. Verse 32, and Gideon, Joash, died in a good old age, and was buried in the sepulchre of Joash his father in Ophrah of Israelites. Verse 33, as soon as Gideon was dead, the children of Israel turned again, and went a whoring after Baalim, and made Baal Berith their god. And just like we've gone over, in the previous Sabbath services, as soon as the brothers who have the strength to serve the Lord, you understand, and the brothers it is that the Lord is with, as soon as they pass, you understand, as soon as that generation that came up with the man that was chosen by the Lord, as soon as that generation gets old and falls weak, now the children of Israel, choose to turn their back on the Most High, you understand, and choose to follow the gods of the other nations, thinking that they're something special, and forgetting what it is that the Lord has done for our people. You understand, forgetting of all the great and mighty nations, It is that the Lord has brought down for the sakes of the Israelites, for the sakes of blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians, forgetting about how the Lord, not only brought down mighty nations, but brought down one of the greatest nations in the world. You understand? Ancient Egypt, for the sake of blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians. You understand? One of the wealthiest empires this earth has ever seen, with the greatest armies and whatever else it is that our people think is great about Egypt. Like all of that, the Lord brought down so that our people could be free. And he did the same with all these other nations that have sought to conquer us and to oppress us. The Lord brought all these nations down for the sake of his people. And yet, give it some time and we want to forget all about that. And what's that famous saying in the world? Don't forget the past. So it's not, basically don't happen again. You understand? Like don't forget about the atrocities that's happened in the past and the build up to it so it doesn't happen again. You understand? I forget the exact words like it. But that's essentially the saying it is about our past. You understand? Like we don't want to forget about the crimes that have been committed against other nations, like concerning the Holocaust, in World War II, or any other genocide it is that has happened. Of course, what has happened to the tribe of Gad, we always want to say not to forget the past, but when it comes to who it is that we are, we tend to forget about it. You understand? We tend not to care about it, and we don't do everything in our power to really seek after who it is that we are as a nation. Like we just take, whatever information is at hand and we run with it. You understand? Or because of Christianity, we look at the atrocities that have happened and we say, you gotta forgive it. We say, well, that was in the past. That we're living in the now. When in reality, because we don't forget the oppression, or it's like because we forget about the oppression that happens to us, and because we choose not to honor our forefathers by, not joining to their enemies, you understand? Like we're going to allow for the same atrocities to happen again to our people. Like we're going to allow for the oppression to live on, all because we aren't remembering what has been going on for the past 400 years. And because we absolutely refuse to get into these scriptures and to find out our true history. You understand? Find out about all the things that have been done to us leading up to being in America. Like we refuse to really dive deep into the ancient history of our people. When that's something we just can't do. You understand? We can't just rely on our oppressor for everything, especially the knowledge of who it is that we are. Like we have to really take it upon ourselves to look into history and to find our identity. You understand? We can't leave that to any other nation. You leave it to the other nations, and we nothing more than savages. You understand? We come from descendants of people over in Asia. We descend from monkeys, evolved from monkeys. Just all the different ideas it is that our oppressor has on evolution and the creation of mankind and all of that. Like we'll fall into that trap. Like that's why we gotta remember who the devil is. Verse 34. And the children of Israel remembered not the Lord their God, who had delivered them out of the hands of all their enemies on every side. And that's exactly what we've done today. You understand? And now all the enemies on all the sides of the children of Israel devour us. You understand? Now they rule over us and oppress us and take advantage of us. You understand? Now they get to be rich off of the backs of our people, off of our children. Like that's why we need, our own power, our own God, because like any nation, you understand, their God looks out for them. That's why it's utterly ridiculous to follow the gods of another nation, because that God is going to seek to benefit that nation. You understand? That rock in the Middle East is going to seek to benefit the Arabs, or say the Ishmaelites. You understand that golden fat statue is going to benefit, the Moabites, and so on and so forth for all the other gods. But what we don't understand is that these other gods are not, they're not real. You understand? They're just idols. Like they can't defend themselves. You understand? They can't, the food it is that you set out for them, they can't eat. The water that you set out, they can't drink. Like none of that. They have to rely on, you understand, man to do everything for them. But the God of the children of Israel, you understand, he destroyed the Egyptians. He didn't have to, rely on anybody to go to war for him or for his people. Like he destroyed the Egyptians. He destroyed all the enemies that sought to oppress the children of Israel. And he's going to do the same thing when Christ returns. You understand? Like when Christ returns with them 200 million chariots, it's going to be the Lord that is destroying America. It's not going to be blacks, Latinos, and natives picking up guns or building homemade bombs. We're not going to be trying to infiltrate into the U.S. government to get high positions, to stage a coup, or none of that. Yes, we can't do anything against this animal who has became so mighty in this earth. You understand? There's nothing it is that we can do to defeat him. You understand? But there is something that our power can do, that our God can do. All we have to do is turn back to the Most High. You understand? All we have to do is change our lives and live it the opposite of how the Christian church has told us to live. You understand? And then by doing so, then we'll get to see all of the prophecies come true out of these scriptures right here. You understand? The prophecies of the destruction to come to America. The destruction to come to this earth of nations who have oppressed the children of Israel. Verse 35, neither shewed they kindness to the house of Jerubbaal, namely Gideon, according to all the goodness which he had shewed unto Israel. And very common story, lack of brotherhood within the nation of Israel. You understand? Like, you gotta remember, there's brothers and sisters who have descended, you understand, from the brothers who, are mentioned in these scriptures. Like brothers who were heroes in the nation of Israel, who were heroes to blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians, who made sacrifices for our people, who gave up, money and time, who gave up wives who would come against them for fighting for the children of Israel, who gave up children who would much rather that they would go and serve other gods and celebrating their holidays rather than serving the Lord and doing the work and raising up this nation. Like the sacrifices it is that those brothers had to make then, like that's not honored today. You understand? We don't even think of what it is that they had to go through in order to raise up this nation. We don't think of how they had to put their lives on the line to raise up just the most undesired people in this earth. You understand? Those who everyone sought to put into chains because they were no good for anything except for building other nations. Like the sacrifices that these men made, like that is honored here in the I.S.U.P.K. under commanding Gen.YAHANNA. The sacrifices our forefathers had to make for this nation, we will never forget about that in this school. And we will ensure that our children never forget about it, and our children's children, and so on and so forth, until we're in the kingdom. You understand? And then the entire nation will have to honor these men, and to honor the sacrifices they made, and honor the brothers who are in this school who have to go through the same thing. You understand? Who go out and put their lives on the line every weekend at camp. You understand? Like who put their jobs on the line, you understand, every day just by doing this work. Who put their families on the line, you understand, their wives and their children, their riches. I shouldn't even say riches. It's really just the crumbs it is that brothers have. Like we give it all up for the children of Israel, so that one day our people could be free. And that day is coming soon. Don't think it's gonna be, it's like at least Lord willing, you understand, that it's gonna be another 400 years of us living in this hell. Like don't think that our oppressor is going to rule the earth indefinitely because of all the power and might he has accumulated. And the same goes for these heathens. Like don't think that because they have power in this earth as well, don't think that they're gonna be the next to rule. The next to rule the earth is going to be blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians. Judges, it's like a book of Judges, chapter 9, and verse 1. And Abimelech, the son of Jerubbaal, went to Shechem unto his mother's brethren, and communed with them, and with all the family of the house of his mother's father, saying, verse 2, speak, I pray you, in the ears of all the men of Shechem, whether is better for you, either that all the sons of Jerubbaal, which are 70 persons, reign over you, or that one reign over you. Remember also that I am your bone and your flesh. Verse 3, and his mother's brethren spake of him in the ears of all the men of Shechem all these words, and their hearts inclined to follow Abimelech, for they said, he is our brother. Verse 4, and they gave him 70 pieces of silver out of the house of Baal-berith, wherewith Abimelech hired vain and light persons which followed him. Verse 5, and he went unto his father's house at Ophrah, and slew his brethren, the sons of Jerubbaal, being 70 persons, upon one stone. Notwithstanding, yet Jotham, the youngest son of Jerubbaal, was left, for he hid himself. Verse 6, and all the men of Shechem gathered together, and all the house of Milo, and went and made Abimelech king by the plain of the pillar that was in Shechem. Verse 7, and when they told it to Jotham, he went and stood in the top of Mount Gerizim, and lifted up his voice, and cried, and said unto them, hearken unto me, ye men of Shechem, that God may hearken unto you. Verse 8, the trees went forth on a time to anoint a king over them. And they said unto the olive tree, reign thou over us. Verse 9, But the olive tree said unto them, Should I leave my fatness, wherewith by me they honor God and man, and go to be promoted over the trees? Verse 10, and the tree said to the fig tree, Come down and reign over us. Verse 11, but the fig tree said unto them, Should I forsake my sweetness and my good fruit, and go to be promoted over the trees? Verse 12, then said the trees unto the vine, Come thou and reign over us. Verse 13, and the vine said unto them, Should I leave mine wine, which cheereth God and man, and go to be promoted over the trees? 14, then said all the trees unto the bramble, Come thou and reign over us. Verse 15, the bramble said unto the trees, If in truth ye anoint me king over you, then come and put your trust in my shadow. And if not, let fire come out of the bramble and devour the cedars of Lebanon. Hey, talk about Google what bramble is, about Michelle. Bramble? Bramble? Just go to the scripture I was just reading. Verse 16, now therefore, if ye have done truly and sincerely, and that ye have made Abimelech king, if ye have dealt well with Jerubbaal and his house, and have done unto him according to the deserving of his hands. Verse 17, fought for you, and adventured his far, and delivered you out of the hand of Midian. Verse 18, now ye are risen up against my father's house this day, and have slain his sons, 70 persons upon one stone, and have made Abimelech, the son of his maidservant, king over the men of Shechem, because he is your brother. Verse 19, if ye then have dealt truly and sincerely with Jerubbaal and with his house this day, then rejoice ye, and let him also rejoice in you. Verse 20, but if not, let fire come out from Abimelech, and devour the men of Shechem, and the house of Milo, and let fire come out from the men of Shechem, and from the house of Milo, and devour Abimelech. Verse 21, and Jotham ran away and fled, and went to Beer, and dwelt there, for fear of Abimelech his brother. Verse 22, when Abimelech had reigned 3 years over Israel. Verse 23, then God sent an evil spirit between Abimelech and the men of Shechem, and the men of Shechem dealt treacherously with Abimelech. 24, that the cruelty done to the 70 sons of Jerubbaal might come, and their blood be laid upon Abimelech their brother, which slew them, and upon the men of Shechem, which aided him in the killing of his brethren. Verse 25, and the men of Shechem set liers in wait for him in the top of the mountains, and they robbed all that came along that way by them. And it was told Abimelech. 26, and Gaal, the son of Ebed, came with his brethren, and went over to Shechem, and the men of Shechem put their confidence in him. 27, and they went out into the fields, and gathered their vineyards, and trode the grapes, and made merry. and went into the house of their God, and did eat and drink, and cursed Abimelech. Verse 28. And Gaal the son of Ebed said, Who is Abimelech, and who is Shechem, that we should serve him? Is not he the son of Jerubbaal, and Zebul his officer? Serve the men of the father of Shechem, for why should we serve him? Verse 29. And would to God this people were under my hand, then would I remove Abimelech. And he said to Abimelech, Increase thine army and come out. 30. And when Zebul, the ruler of the city, heard the words of Gaal, the son of Ebed, his anger was kindled privily, saying, Behold, Gaal, the son of Ebed, and his brethren be come to Shechem, and behold, they fortify the city against thee. 32. Now therefore, up by night, thou and the people that is with thee, and lie in wait in the field. 33. And it shall be that in the morning, as soon as the sun is up, thou shalt rise early and set upon the city. And behold, when he and the people that is with him come out against thee, then mayest thou do to them as thou shalt find occasion. Verse 34. And Abimelech rose up, and all the people that were with him by night, and they laid wait against Shechem, and 4 companies. Verse 35. And Gaal the son of Ebed went out, and stood in the entering of the gate of the city. And Abimelech rose up, and the people that were with him from lying in wait. 36. And when Gaal saw the people, he said to Zebul, Behold, there come people down from the top of the mountains. And Zebul said unto him, Thou seest the shadow of the mountains as if they were men. Verse 37. And Gaal spake again and said, See, there come people down by the middle of the land, and another company come along by the plain of Meonim. 38. Then said Zebul unto him, Where is now thy mouth, wherewith thou saidst, Who is Abimelech, that we should serve him? Is not this the people that thou hast despised? Go out, I pray now, and fight with them. 39. And Gaal went out before the men of Shechem, and fought with Abimelech. One second.
I got the meaning of it.
Okay, what is it?
It's like a raspberry and blackberry.
Oh, okay.
It's like a fruit.
Yeah, I didn't know what that was. So whenever you don't know what something is, you gotta, Google it.
Oh.
All right. So with that, just the men behind the podium, I imagine. I.S.U.P.K, which means to Israel. Imagine, which means to stand. Upani Hakidam, which means turn, face the east. And your Lord, once you learn the Hebrew, just turn on command in the Hebrew. Don't wait for the English translation. This is the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayah, Kodash, Hayat, Shemka, Yahweh, Malak Taba'ah, Ratazaya, Hayat, I.S.U.P.K, Ratazah, Hawad, Hayat, Bashamayah, Nathan, Lanawa, Lakam, Call, Yawam, Wasalak now, Kwabawat now, Kasalak now, Kwabawat now, Wala'ah, Tabayai, Banasaya one, Abal, Hawashai now, Mayon, Rai, Hayat, Lakab, Hamalakwa, Wa'ala, with the part, I will love you. Amen. This is the Lord's Prayer in the English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Prayer for the Hakak, or the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, Baba Kashah, the Thundernawa, Hakak, La Rapa'ah, Kal Makalah, Wakal Manawa, Hakak, Latahar, Hamil Tazarayim, Hakak, Lahakim, Amathim, Hakak, Our Rakawat, Atama Alu, the Garshad, Bashim Yoshad, the Wadaman. Prayer for the power in the English. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, please give us the power. The power to heal all manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out in the name of Yahushai. Thank you. So be it. Prayer for the blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh. O Yahushai. Wam Yaka'ala. Wa Alahayim. Batazabia. Allah Yahanna, bless you, Yahweh, and Yahushai, and Michael, and the angels, commanding General Yahanna, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai. Thank you. So be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah, Ayanya, Al-Hahariya, Ba'ayad, Yaba'ah, Azariah, Ba'ayin, Yahweh, Aisha, Shamayom, Al-Yanawam, Shamarka, Hana, La'ah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yayashun, Shawamar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al, Yad, Yamyaka, Yawamo, Hashamash, La'ah, Yakaka, Wayarak, Bayala, Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamarka,
Shamarka,
McCall,
McCall,
Rai,
Rai,
Yashamar,
Yashamar,
Athnapashka,
Asapashka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamar,
Yashamar,
Kazathka,
Kashka,
Wabuaka,
Wasawaska,
Vaitha,
Waita,
Wai,
Wai,
I will love.
I will know.
Psalms 121 in the English. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills.
I will lift my eyes unto the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From which cometh my help?
My help cometh from Yahweh,
My help cometh from Yahweh,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee
He that keepeth thee
will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel
he that keepeth Israel
slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh
Yahweh
is thy keeper.
is thy keeper.
Yahweh
Yahweh
is thy shade upon thy right
is
hand.
thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in,
and my coming in.
from this time forth
From this time forward,
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore.
Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim,
Alahayim,
all Damayah,
all other
Lakah,
Lakah,
all Thakarash,
all Thakarash,
all
with all
Tashakwat,
Tashakwat,
all Kaya,
Kaya,
Hana,
Hana,
Awayabyaka,
Awayabaka,
Yahama,
Yahama,
Yawan,
Yawan,
Ra'ash,
Ra'ash,
Al Aimaka,
Al-Amaka,
Ya'arayamba,
Yahweh,
Sawada,
Sawada,
Wayatha, Ya'itazawa, Al Tazapawanyaka, Amarwa, Lakawa,
Kawa,
Wanaki Dum,
Wanaki-Dum,
Magoya,
Magoya,
Wala'ah,
Wala'ah,
Yazakar,
Yashakar,
Shah,
Shah,
Yasha'awa,
Yasha'al,
Iwada,
Iwada,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Noah Itazawa,
Yahweh,
Labak,
Labat,
Yakadwa,
Kadwa,
Al Yaka,
Al-Yaka,
Barya,
Baryah,
Yakarathwa,
Yakawakwa,
Ahoya,
Ahoy,
Arawam,
Adon,
Wayashamai,
Shemai,
Alayam,
Ayam,
Moa'aba,
Moab,
Wahagariam,
Bodhigariam,
Gabal,
Gabal,
Wa'aimawan,
Ayam,
Wa'aimalak,
Wa'amalak,
Palashah,
Al-Shah,
Aib,
Ay,
Yashabia,
Shabia,
Tazawar,
Razawar,
Gam,
Gab,
Ashawar,
Ashawar,
Nalawa,
Alawat,
Aimam,
Aimam,
Hayawa,
Aywa,
Zarawai, Labanya, Lawat, Selah,
Selah,
Aisha,
Asha,
Laham,
Laham,
Kamadian,
Kamari,
Kasa Yasara,
Kaya,
Kayabian,
Kayabian,
Banakaol,
Bodhigao,
Kayashawan,
Kashawan,
Nashamadwa,
Ashamawa,
Ba'ayan Da'ara,
Ayyawa,
Hayawa,
Aywa,
Daman,
Damon,
La'adama,
Adama,
Shayathamwa,
Saidoma,
Nara,
Bara,
Yabmawa,
Yabam,
Ka'ira,
Ka'ira,
Wakaza'aba,
Wasa'aba,
Wakazabak,
Washabak,
Wakazazal,
Wakazazar,
Manai,
Manad,
Call,
Kao,
Nasayakamwa,
Ashikoma,
Ashar,
Ashar,
Amarwa,
Amaru,
Nayurashah,
Nayusha,
Lanawa,
Manawa,
At, Nahawa,
Nawa,
Alahayam,
Ayam,
Alahayah,
Ayam,
Shayathamwa,
Saidoma,
Kagogola,
Gogo,
Kakwash,
Kwash,
Lapanya,
Ayam,
Rowaka,
Ruka,
Ka'ash,
Sha'ash,
Tabaira,
Bara'aru,
Ya'ira,
Ya'aru,
Wakalahaba,
Ruka,
Talahat, Haryam,
Aryam,
Kad,
Kad,
Dardatma,
Dardama,
Basairika,
Basarika,
Wabasa,
Obasa,
Wapathka,
Obaska,
Tabahalam,
Balalam,
Mala'ah,
Mala'am,
Panyaham,
Mayam,
Palawan,
Balawan,
Wayabakashua,
with Joshua,
Shemka,
Shemka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yabashua,
Joshua,
Wayabaola,
Baal,
Idea,
Idea,
I,
I,
Wayaparwa,
Baal,
Wayabadwa,
Baal,
Wayadaiwa,
Iowa,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Atad,
Atad,
Shemka,
Shemka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Labaka,
Baka,
Al Yawan,
Iowa,
Al,
Al,
Call,
Call,
Ha'aratazah.
Al,
Psalms 83 in English. Keep not thou silence, O my power. Hold not thy peace,
Hold not thy peace,
and be not still, O my power.
be not still, O my power.
For lo, enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee
and they that hate thee
have lifted up the head.
And lifted up the heads.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people,
They have taken crafty counsel against our people.
and consulted against thy hidden ones.
Consulted against our hidden ones.
They have said,
They have said,
Come,
come,
and let us cut them off from being a nation,
let us cut them off from being a nation.
that the name of Israel
The name of Israel
may be no more in remembrance.
may be no more in remembrance.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
And they have consulted together in one consent.
They are confederate against
they
thee.
are
Confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom,
The tabernacles of Edom.
and the Israelites of Moab,
And
and the Hagarenes,
the Hagarenes.
Gabal,
The Wall.
and Ammon,
And Ammon.
and Amalek,
And Amalek.
the Philistines,
The Philistines.
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
The inhabitants of Tyre.
Assur also is joined with them.
So also join with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They are hoping the children of Lot.
Selah.
Say Lot.
Do unto them
do unto them
as to Sisera,
As to Sarah.
as to Jabin,
As to Jabin.
at the brook of Kison,
At the brook of Kison.
which perished at Endor.
Which perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
They came and done for the earth.
Make their nobles like Oreb,
Make a noble like a red.
and like
And
Zeeb.
that's Eden.
Yea,
Yea.
all their princes,
All the princes.
as Zeba,
As Zebah.
and as Zalmunna,
And as Amunah.
who said,
Who said,
Let us take to ourselves
let us take to ourselves
the houses of God in possession.
the house of the God in possession.
O my power,
All my power.
make them like a wheel,
Make them like a wheel.
as the stubble before the wind,
As the stumble before the wind.
as the fire burneth the wood,
As the fire burned the wood.
and as the flame set the mountains on fire.
As the flame set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them with thy tempest,
So persecute them with our tempest.
and make them afraid with thy storm.
Make them afraid with our storm.
Fill their faces with shame,
Fill their faces with shame.
that they may seek thy name.
And they keep thy name.
O Yahweh,
O Yahweh.
let them be confounded and troubled forever.
Let them be confounded and troubled forever.
Yea,
Yea.
let them be put to shame
Let them be put to shame.
and perish,
And
perish,
that men may know
that men may know
that thou,
that thou,
whose name alone
whose name alone
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the most high
art the most high
over all the earth.
over all the earth.
Prayer for the curses in English. Blessed are you, Yahweh,
Blessed are you, Yahweh,
King of heaven and earth,
King of heaven and earth,
and all things living.
and all things living.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in the name of Yahweh
in the
Shai,
name of Yahweh,
listen to us now,
listen to us now,
right now.
right now.
Send evils and curses,
And evils and curses,
and punishment and destruction
and punishment and destruction
to the heathens
to the heathen
that speak against us thy prophets,
that speak against us, thy prophets,
the teachers,
the teachers,
the princes,
the princes,
the priests,
the priests,
the Israelite brothers,
the Israelite brothers,
and school,
and the school,
evils and curses,
and evils and curses,
and punishment and destruction
and punishment and destruction
to the heathens,
to the heathen,
and shake loose the treasure
and shake loose the treasure
of the rich of Israel,
of the rich of Israel,
that that refuse to give to the school,
that refuse to give to the school,
force their riches to enter into thy sanctuary,
force thy riches to enter into thy sanctuary,
send evils and curses,
and evils and curses,
and punishment and destruction
and punishment and destruction
to the Edomites,
to the Edomites
and the nations,
and nations,
and the drug dealers,
and the drug dealers,
the court
the
system,
court system,
workers of witchcraft,
workers of witchcraft,
that seek to stop us
and seek to stop us,
and bring the way,
and stand in the way,
or try to stop us from broadcasting your words
or try to stop us from broadcasting your words
throughout the men of Israel. Amadim Shabajim Barak Yahweh Shemar Shah. You say Yahweh Shemar Al Bahashim Yahweh Shah. Yajamatah. Would anybody like to be anointed at this time? Come on. All right, clap it up.